Hello everybody and welcome to Just Football. Now this is the transfer show where I'm going to be reacting to the stories that have been happening over the weekend. Now Percy Tau is linked with a move back to England in the Premier League with Burnley, and also Kaizer Chiefs have been asked to sign Lesedi Kapinga among some of the biggest stories. Now if you're new on Just Football, kindly click on the subscribe button as we upload similar content every week. Now let's get on with the video. The first story that I want to talk about is that Percy Tau has been linked with a move back to the Premier League. Now the story was broken first by Rush Sports On, and many publications went on to talk about that story even earlier today. Now Percy Tau is linked with a move back to Burnley. I do believe that this link is true. Now what is happening? Vincent Kompany is a big admirer of Percy Tau from his time with Brighton and Hove Albion, and he has been following the player in Al Ahly. So he has also been impressed with Percy Tau showing in the CAF Champions League. Now that's what has been reported. Now this may be very good news for Percy Tau. We know Burnley have already have a South African player who's playing for them in Lyle Foster. Now Percy Tau looks like he may be the next South African player to play for Burnley, now this time in the Premier League. Now this would be very good for Percy Tau. It will be his time to prove himself, because his first attempt to play in Europe, we know how it ended. It was unsuccessful. He was being moved around by Brighton and Albion. He was moved around on loan to Belgium and so forth. But right now, Percy Tau is linked with a permanent move now to Burnley. Burnley, they've been playing good, expansive football, position football in the in the EFL Championship, but right now in the Premier League, whether or not to be able to play that style of football, we wait to see. But Vincent Kompany has proven himself to be one of the best young coaches yet in England, so he has to prove it now in the Premier League, and he feels like Percy Tau can be one of the players to help him do it. Now, what do you think about the story, Percy Tau? Do you think he should be going back to the Premier League, or do you think he should just settle down at Al Ahly and keep going? We know also Percy Tau has been offered a new contract at Al Ahly. Negotiations are ongoing regarding Percy Tau and a new contract at Al Ahly. So Percy Tau has a big decision to make if Burnley do decide to make their interest official. Right now it's just talks. Company has let them know at Burnley that he would like to sign Percy Tau. So there's nothing official between Burnley and Al Ahly. So what is going to happen in the situation? Al Ahly will have to make a decision on Percy Tau. They are negotiating with him for a new contract. We know he can sign that contract and still move, but at the moment there is no official talks between Burnley and Al Ahly as far as I'm concerned, unless there is something behind the scenes. But at the moment there is no official negotiations. Now tell me what you think. Do you think Percy Tau would do well in the Premier League, or do you think it will be same old for Percy Tau in the Premier League? But I'm sure the player himself would be urging to go and prove himself, because his first move, like I said, to the Premier League was a disaster, and right now Percy Tau would be able to go straight from Al Ahly to go and play in the Premier League, because the rules have changed. Now a player can come straight from South Africa and play for a Premier League. At first, we know he couldn't go straight to play for Brighton. He had to go to lower leagues before he could go to Brighton, but right now he couldn't go straight to the Premier League. And then the next player I want to talk about, with the story may as well be big. It may mean something. It may happen or it may not happen. Now Kaizer Chiefs have been asked to sign Lesedi Kapinga, former Mamelodi midfielder. We know he's a free agent at the moment, but there has been reports. I have also reported on this that Kapinga is linked with a move to Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates are still trying to make a decision on whether or not to go for Kapinga, but Kapinga currently he is focused on Bafana Bafana. We know he's with Bafana Bafana reserve squad playing in the COSAFA Cup, but now he's linked now with a move to Kaizer Chiefs because of what was said over the weekend by Junior Kanye. Junior Kanye is urging Kaizer Chiefs to go for Lesedi Kapinga, but I do think as well that Lesedi Kapinga would be a very good signing for a team like Kaizer Chiefs, but he would be coming in and he would challenge Mduduzi Mtanjane in the 10 role. But Kapinga, he can also play on the wing. So if one of the wingers cannot perform, Kapinga can fill in. But now Kapinga, I think, is a very, very good player. And at Kaizer Chiefs, he would be a starter. Definitely, I think he would be a starter. I think one of the players at Kaizer Chiefs would be in trouble now, because Lesedi Kapinga, we know he's a very impressive player. Over the weekend, he was playing very well for Bafana Bafana. But now, whether or not Kaizer Chiefs would try to move for someone like Lesedi Kapinga. We wait and see. And also, there's an issue of the wage. I did make a video where I was talking about whether or not Orlando Pirates would be able to afford Lesedi Kapinga, because right now Lesedi Kapinga was earning around 200,000 rands per month at Mamelodi Sundowns, and now I think he would expect that the team that is going to sign him will have to pay him a little bit more, which is why Lesedi Kapinga has only been linked with the top teams, because most teams will not be able to afford the wage that he will want at the moment. And also the signing on fee would be huge because there's no transfer fee. So Lesedi Kapinga is a free agent. I think he's going to be a little bit more expensive, but a team like Kaizer Chiefs, we have seen them do this with Khama Billiat before, where they just offered him a huge wage, which made him one of the best paid players in the Dstv Premiership. But now Lesedi Kapinga is also a free agent, so he's going to be expecting to be offered a lot more than the 200,000 that he was earning at Mamelodi Sundowns in the next contract that he's going to sign. So Lesedi Kapinga is still only 27 years or 28. Yeah, I think it's 28. So still just under 28 years, under 30 years old. So he could be a very good signing for Kaizer Chiefs, a revolutionary signing. I know in most of my videos I was against Kaizer Chiefs going for Mamelodi Sundowns rejects, but I don't think a player like Kapinga can be called a reject, because he was underused. I think at the Mamelodi Sundowns, underappreciated. He was not used. I think he has over around 39 appearances for Mamelodi Sundowns in over 3 years, in over 3 seasons. So he was not used by Mamelodi Sundowns. Not like a player who was used by Mamelodi Sundowns and then they decided that he's finished and then they let him go. With Lesedi Kapinga, we know Mamelodi Sundowns did try to keep him. They did not actually decide to let him go at first. They did try to keep him, and then the player was not happy with the options that were on the table, so they ended up letting him go. But at the moment, I think Lesedi Kapinga would be a very good signing forever, whether Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs. Now, Junior Kani has urged Kaizer Chiefs to go for the player, and I will see what's going to happen. Lesedi Kapinga, we know that's for sure. Lesedi Kapinga will resolve his future in the next coming weeks. Lesedi Kapinga will get a big move. Obviously, he's one of our most talented players in South Africa. Now, give me your thoughts on the situation of Lesedi Kapinga. Still at Kaizer Chiefs, I just want to mention that Khama Billiat has yet to respond to Kaizer Chiefs messages or calls. Even now, Khama Billiat is still AWOL. We know Kaizer Chiefs reported this on Saturday, that their attempts to talk to Khama Billiat have been unsuccessful because the player is not answering his calls and he's not responding to text messages. Now, it is still the same. Khama Billiat is still nowhere to be found. As of this morning, he has not reported to training and he has not responded to the messages, emails or calls from Amakosi. Now, what is happening with Khama Billiat? I would lie if I said I know, because I've tried to check around a few sources, but now there is no one who knows what is happening with Khama Billiat. His agent has been in talks with Kaizer Chiefs, but the agent cannot make a decision by himself because he has to also get the opinion of the player. At the moment, there is still nothing from Khama Billiat's camp, but I am sure Khama Billiat will resurface in the coming few weeks, because now the transfer window will be closing very soon, and he has to also resolve his future. Whether he will still be a Kaizer Chiefs player, I cannot say at the moment, but Kaizer Chiefs are still waiting on Khama Billiat. Now, what do you think about the situation? Do you think Kaizer Chiefs should keep waiting, or they should make it official that Khama Billiat is no longer a Kaizer Chiefs player, or they should wait? Is it worth it? I don't think it is worth it. Kaizer Chiefs should just let him go. They have signed enough players in their attacking positions, and they are still linked with some of the talented players in South Africa. So they should just put it out there that Khama Billiat is no longer a Kaizer Chiefs player. I'm sure the player would resurface to try and resolve his future. Now, that is the story on Khama Billiat. There is still nothing from Khama Billiat. No response, no communication or whatsoever. Kaizer Chiefs are also considering pulling out of the race to sign Thulani Serero. You know, Kaizer Chiefs have been linked with a move for Thulani Serero. Now they are reconsidering that. They have not made an official approach yet to Thulani Serero, but it looks like Kaizer Chiefs may be out of the race to sign Thulani Serero. It's been discussed internally at Kaizer Chiefs. Thulani Serero was discussed a few weeks internally in details, but it looks like right now at this moment Kaizer Chiefs are considering letting go of Thulani Serero. They don't think it will be worth it, and they know it will cost a lot of money in as far as wages are concerned, and now they're starting to think they may have enough in their current squad, especially with the arrival of Botani on over the weekend. They are feeling confident with the current squad, so Kaizer Chiefs may not be in the race to sign Tulani Serero anymore, who is a free agent. We know he's also linked with a move to Mamelodi Sundowns. But what I understand, KaizerChiefs may be pulling out of the race to sign Tulani Serero as of this moment. The next player I want to talk about is Buchanan. Now, this was reported by the SABC Sport. Now, I can confirm that Buchanan will be joining Cape Town Spurs as a free agent. We know Buchanan is one of the players who left Amazulu under Lawrence Falls because there were a lot of issues there. Now, Buchanan, I can confirm he will be the new player for Cape Town Spurs, as they are hoping to add some experience in their squad in order to remain in the Dstv Premiership to protect their Dstv Premiership status. Now we'll see an official announcement from Cape Town Spurs very soon. Buchanan is their new man. And also I want to talk about Steve Komphela's revolution at Solus FC as it continues. Now Solus FC have also signed Kenan Phillips and Falake Talani on Saturday for Solus FC as they're trying to build a squad for Steve Komphela. Now, we know Kenan Phillips is a right back from Supersport United, and again, Falake Talani is also a central back. Now, Steve Komphela's revolution continues at Solus FC. Now, I'm sure a lot of additions are incoming, and there are a few players who are on trial there at Solus FC, but at the moment, 2 players also join Steve Komphela's revolution. Now, tell me what you think about the players that I mentioned in this video. KaizerChiefs been linked with Lesedi Kapinga. KaizerChiefs also considering to pull out of the race to sign Tulani Serero. Percy Tau will be linked with a move to Burnley, and all the stories that I mentioned in this video. Khama Billiat is still not responding to KaizerChiefs and all that. Now, give me your thoughts and hit a like on this video.